Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the Close to My Heart new Cricut cartridge called Completely Creative. I am going to just quickly show you where you can find this in case you have missed part 1. Part 1 I posted earlier, that is putting together a scrapbook layout using the same cartridge. So let's start here on the computer. I am on my webpage, and in order to find this you will go to More, Cricut Collections, and then scroll down to the bottom and you'll grab this Cricut link here. It's going to take you right into the Close to My Heart section, and the one we're using is the very first one. It's the newest one that they have called Complete Creativity. So you'll just go ahead and click Add to Cart and then go ahead and check out like you normally would. It's not going to let me because I already own it. And I'm going to hop over here to Design Space. So this is my home screen. I'm going to click New Project. And then in order to get the images, I will go to Images over here. I'm going to narrow that down to Cartridges. And then I will search Complete. And it's going to bring up this cartridge for me. So I'll click on that. Here's a quick scroll down of what is included. It is seasonal. I believe it would get you all the way through the year. It's quite heavy on, I think, Christmas and Halloween though. So I'm going to scroll down and grab the image. I did an exact replica of this in the last video showing you how to put together this scrapbook layout. Now I'm going to take some of the elements that are included in this and create a few greeting cards just to give you an idea of the versatility and how you can use the images for something other than, you know, exactly what they're shown here. So down here, I can see in my circle I have this selected. I will click Insert Images, and it's going to pull that onto my design space. All right, I'm going to zoom out so there you can see the whole thing. And this is all grouped together. So I'm going to select it, and I will click Ungroup. And that's going to put, for the most part, everything on single layers. We will still have to do a little bit of slicing to get some of the elements apart. So I'm going to start out with a base for my cards, and I'm going to grab a square here, and I'm going to pull that down here. Up in the size right here, I'm going to unlock that, and then I'm going to type in 4 inches by 5 1/4. That's going to give me okay, let me try that again, 5.25. Alright, there we go. That's going to give me my basic panel size for the front of my A2 sized card. And I'm going to go ahead and just come up here and hit duplicate and do that twice. So I've got all 3 of my card bases, my panels for my card bases put together. Now I'm actually going to do that one more time. I'm going to duplicate this here, and I'm going to change the color to white, and I'm going to duplicate that 2 more times. These are going to be the insides of my card bases, so I will go ahead and just write a sentiment on those just to make it easier. We won't have to do any stamping for these cards. Alright, so I've got my 3 front panels, my 3 inside panels lined up and ready to go. So first I'm going to grab this Happy Halloween sentiment. I really liked this, and I want to separate all of these. So I'm going to grab another square, and I'll pull this over. I'm going to duplicate that a couple times because I'm going to need it for slicing other things. So I'm going to come over here clean so you can see what's going on. And just like I did in the previous video, I'm going to slice these apart. So I'm going to line this up so I am just covering the happy portion, none of the Halloween. It's awfully tight, so just be careful. Zoom in if you need to. And then I will select this whole thing and hit slice. And that is going to give me the separate happy. And I can get rid of this one. I'm going to grab another one. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do the same thing with these labels. I'm going to grab that, being really careful not to hit that W, but making sure I get the edge of that label. Okay, and I will again select both of those together and hit the slice button. So now I've got these separate and I can delete that. I'm going to reuse this one here. Scroll down a little bit to give myself more room. And I'm going to take this and just go over. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to make sure I'm okay. This is awfully small. There we go. Sorry, I hope I didn't make you dizzy by going that fast there. And I'm going to make sure I only have one of those labels selected. Again, I will select this, hit slice, and now I should have one label, yep, just by itself. So I can get rid of all of the rest of these. So now I have separated, and I'm going to zoom back out again. I have separated the happy, the Halloween, and the label, and I can just duplicate those if I need more than one. Alright, so for this first card, I want to use this guy as well. And the background. Are these attached? Nope, they are separate. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these. And I'm going to go ahead and group these because I do want this to stay the same. But of course I'm going to have to size this down a little bit. So I'm going to go roughly, I go a little bit smaller. I think that's good. Okay. And I will grab these as well and make them smaller. You know what? I think I'm going to move this up to the top in case I use it again, but I think I want the solid letters. I think that's going to be better. And I do want to make sure I am grabbing all of that I want. So I'm going to grab this layer, and this layer. And that should give me all three, yes. And then, because these are on separate layers and I want them to be all as one, I'm going to grab these, make sure they're all selected, and down in the bottom of the palette, I'm going to hit weld. So now this is all together, and it's all going to cut together. Alright, now I'm going to shrink these down a little bit. I'm going to pull Halloween over here. I want to have this running across the bottom of this little picture. I think I will maybe stamp something in here or maybe use one of the stickers that I have in my stash. So we'll see what happens once I get these sort of laid out. Then I'm going to grab this happy, and I think I want to make that, I'm going to make that purple. And I'm going to make that smaller as well, sort of stick that over here, make that even a little bit smaller. Oops. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Undo. There we go. Grab the happy. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to move that to the front. I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. There we go. Okay. We'll just have to move around a little bit. So I'm going to make that, I think, even a little smaller. I'll have that sort of layering over this. And then we have the Halloween. That's good there. I'll grab a couple of these labels. Pull that over. Do I need to make that smaller? I don't think I do. It's already pretty small. Okay. I'm going to do two of these. Actually, I'm going to make myself another one, so I'll have one ready for if I want to use it on another card. Sorry, I think I'm being a little quiet. I will try to speak a little bit louder. So I'm going to layer, I think, two of these here, like that. And then let's go up and see what else we have. Stars. I'm going to use some of the stars. Okay, so those are grouped together. And I'll make those a little smaller. And I'm going to duplicate those. And I'll add one up here. And one down here. I'm going to have to arrange that and bring it to the front. And I'll just move that around a little bit. And those will change as I lay everything out and actually glue them down. I'm just sort of going for a general idea here. Okay, so I think I want to add some writing onto these labels. So I'm going to grab my text tool here. And for this first one, I'll do no tricks, just trees. Okay. And I'm going to pull that down. There we go. And I'm going to have to make that a lot smaller. Before I do that, I'm going to do regular, let's see, I'm going to change this up here where it says line type. I'm going to change that to draw. And then when I select my font, I'm going to filter this so that it just has writing. And then I'm going to go with this one, A Child's Year. Okay, I think that's cute. So I'm going to make that a little smaller here. And let's see how this lines up. Let's make it even a little bit smaller, I think. I have a very thin line pen, so this should be okay. All right. I do want to make sure that the way that's lined up, it is as centered as I can get it. And then I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to duplicate it one more time. That way I have one ready to go. If I need it, I will stick this up next to the other label. Okay, I'm going to change this, and this one I will have Too Cute to Spook. Okay. And I'm going to take that and do the same thing, and I will line that up here, getting that as centered as best as I can in that very tiny space there. All right, so I want to have this written on top of my little label. So I'm going to select the writing, and then I'm going to also select the label. So I have both together. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to hit attach. And that way my Cricut machine will know to actually write that on the label. You have to do this anytime you want to have writing on a specific cut that you are doing. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I will select my writing, I will select my label, and I will go down and click attach. So now we're set on that. So this I'm going to have to slide over a little bit, and that I'm going to have to slide over a little bit. I do want to keep them kind of staggered though, just a little bit for some interest. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that one. I'm going to move over to the next one and see what we can come up with. So let's get back up. I think I definitely want to use this Happy Halloween again. So I'm gonna duplicate that. And I'm gonna duplicate the Halloween. I really like these fonts. Okay. So let's do an orange card. I'm gonna change that to orange. And we'll go a little darker. And then the Halloween I'll make that the darker gray color. This one, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna run that along the bottom here, I think. And maybe we'll layer Happy sort of right above that. Turn that a little more straight. I'm gonna keep those in line. Okay. And then, all right, let's go back up here and see. Okay, I'm gonna use this guy here. So let's see, these three are attached. So I'm gonna have to do some slicing here to get this smaller one. And I'm gonna grab one of these squares, just like I did before. And then I will select the whole thing and slice. Okay, so here I've got this separated. I'm going to drag this over, and I will size that down a little bit. Okay. Don't know if I need a label on this one. I'm going to go, I think, even a little bit smaller. Yeah, I like that. And then I will move that backwards. Or actually, I'll just grab Happy and move that to the front. That's going to be easier. Okay, so I feel like I need something in the background. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab these. I'm gonna group them for the moment so that I don't have to move them back and arrange them again. And I'm going to grab the spider web from up here. I'm gonna size this down so that it's just covering my background. I'm gonna put that. I think that's good. I'm gonna move it to the front. Oh, come on. I want the web to the front. Arrange, send to front. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna line this up, and I can't cut that because it's gonna be way too small. So I'm gonna change my line type up here, and I'm going to change that to draw. There we go. And I'm gonna slice this, which should give me a square. Okay, here we go. But I don't want it to be separate. All right, so this is gonna be all of the, yeah, that's going to have cut it out. So that's fine. I'm just gonna get rid of this one, and I'm gonna duplicate this one. I hope this is making sense and I'm not going too fast. If you guys have any questions, let me know. So I'm going to change this to orange. And then, again, I will have to move this to the front. If only it could read my mind. And then I'm going to select this. And I'm going to align it. Right here is a line. I'm going to just click center. And that way I know both horizontally and vertically it's going to be aligned. I'm going to select both of them again, and then I will attach. So that way I'm going to draw the web onto the back of this, because remember I changed the line type to draw, and then my rectangle is going to cut. All right, now let me grab this group over here, and I will have to bring that to the front. The last thing you do is always in the front. Okay. All right, I like that. Okay. And I'm going to add a label, I think. So I'll duplicate this. And I'm gonna make that purple to match the happy. And I'm gonna duplicate this in case I need it again. And I will line this up. Okay. Change this to, okay, I did too cute to spook, no tricks or treats. I'll just do trick or treat. There we go. Now remember, in order to get this to actually write on this label, I have to select both and I have to click attach. Okay. Now I'm gonna rotate this, I think 180 will give me what I want. Nope. I'm not very good with the maths. So let's try 90 and see what that does. 90. No. Let's try 270. There we go, 270. Okay. So I'm going to line this up here to come down the side. Okay. And I feel like it still needs something more. Maybe more stars. I'll use this, I'm going to use this boo. Okay. So I want to have this the opposite direction. So I'm going to duplicate this. And no, I don't think I want the boo. I'm going to save that. I'm going to do this October 31. I like the shape of that better. I think the boo is just too short. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this one. And then I think I'm down to my last square up here, so I'm going to duplicate that as well in case I need another one. So I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to cover up the October 31. And I'm going to duplicate that again because I'm going to need another one that size. And I'm going to weld this. That way I will get a solid. And I'm going to change that to black. Am I on black? Yes. And then I want to rotate that 90? Nope. I think I wanted 180. Well, maybe if I hit 90 again, it'll take me where I want. Nope. 180. There we go. I want to have my flags going down. Okay, now I want to get this October 31 separate. So I'm going to layer that up and slice it. And I think that will get me perfect. So now I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to change the color just to make it a little easier to see. And I'm going to pull that here, slide it down just a little bit, and I'll grab this and slice it. And that way I should have the flag. Yes, so now I have the same cutout flag, but I've got the tails facing towards the bottom like I wanted them to. Okay. I'm going to take this over, and I think this will do it. I think this will finish this one up really nicely. Okay, obviously making that smaller, and I will stick that towards the top here. Perfect. And then again, I will just go ahead and stamp something here. Okay, for the last one, I think I'm just going to do 3 here today. So what else? Let's use something different. Okay, let's grab this guy. And I'm going to use one of the other squares that was on here as well. So I will have to grab this guy. I'm going to duplicate him one more time just in case I need it again. And I'm going to have to be careful with this because this is tight. So I will go ahead and line this up. And you know what's coming next. I'm going to select both and click slice. So now I should have that separate. Yep. I actually have both of them separate now. So we're all set. Alright, so I'm going to layer this here. And I think, yeah, I'm going to do, this will work. I'm going to leave that a little bit longer. Select the whole thing and make that a little bit smaller. And let's pull this over here and I'm going to arrange, why is it blending in like that? Click undo. I'm going to group this together for the moment. Pull that to the front. There we go. Now I've got the black that I wanted. Although, let's see, I have a gray background here, I have an orange here. I'm going to swap this, I'm going to ungroup this, and I'm going to make this background gray, and I'll make my panel black, just to keep everything a little different. Okay, so I think I want this a little bit bigger. Oh, I forgot I ungrouped it. Okay, here we go. So let's sort of make this panel sized. There we go. That's pretty good, I think. Okay. I'm going to make this slightly shorter. Let's undo that. I'm going to make that slightly shorter, almost more square. Okay. And I'm going to grab this spooky. Oh, I forgot it wasn't grouped. Alright, so I'm going to group this. Now I can move both together, and let's just use this as a banner along the bottom. I think I'm going to leave this. I'm going to make it just slightly smaller than it was originally. I want to run this across the front of the card, and I'll have just the edges peeking off of my panel. So I'll stick this just towards the bottom of that. And then let's do a label. I'm going to add this again. Okay. Just lining that up as best as I can in the center. And I want to change this to, let's do Trick or Treat again. Okay. So once again, I'm going to attach this. Whoops. And I'll pull that down underneath here, maybe overlap that a little bit. That's good. And I'm going to grab some more of these stars. Pull those down. I use both of these. Again, just shrinking those a little bit. Let's select those and bring to front. I'll put one here. And again, this is just sort of for a placement idea. You know, I'll move these around once I decide what I'm going to stamp on here. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to detach this. And let's make this label that same yellow as the stars. I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. All right. So there we have. Oh, I'm going to duplicate this a couple more times. Actually, I'll just do one. I'll get rid of this one. And then remember to attach this. So I'm going to grab this and my label, and I'm going to reattach those. Okay, and you can check to make sure they're attached. I'll show you as we go in and check all of our mats, just to make sure everything's going to cut the way that we want it to. Okay, so now for the insides. Okay, so I have on the front one, I have Happy Halloween. So let's grab this guy here. And let's do, and I have Tricks and Treats there. So let's do, you are fabulous. I think lowercase l. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to make that a little bit larger, I think, just a little bit. Why won't you select? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. So I'm going to select both of these and I will align them to center horizontally. And then again, I'm going to duplicate this first. So I have for the next one, and then I will select both of those and click attach because I want to make sure that that's going to write on my inside panel. Let's see, for this one I have Happy Halloween. So let's do, you know what, I'm going to duplicate that again right now so I have the next one ready. And let's do Trick or Treat in this one. Okay, again I will select both of these and I will align them center horizontally, and then I'm going to go ahead and click attach. Okay. And for this last one, we'll do Happy Halloween. Okay. Again, I will select this and align center horizontally and click attach. Alright, so we have the outsides and the insides ready to go. I'm going to get rid of the rest of all of this. I'm going to select and delete, and that way we're not confused when we're cutting anything out. And delete. And I think, oh no, we got a couple other things over here. Get rid of those. Alright, I'm going to zoom out just to make sure I'm not missing anything. There we go. So I'm going to just grab this and I'm going to group all that together just to help myself out a little bit. And I'll do that for all three of these. I'm not worried about the ones at the bottom. I'm not worried about my insides. I'm going to grab all of this and I will group all of these together. Okay. I'm just going to pull that up to the top so it is easier to see when I start aligning all of the cards together. All right. There we go. Okay, I think that is good. I'm happy with all of those. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click Make It. And now we'll just make sure that everything is set on the mats and it looks correct. So this first one, I am of course going to be working on Nina because, as I mentioned, I am out of my 12 by 12 in my white. So here, just checking, you can see that this writing is going to write on the inside panel just like I want it to, and it's also attached to these two labels that I want. Same thing on this one, writing is attached where we want it, so we're all set on that. We've got the Halloween and the gray backgrounds ready to cut, and the black backgrounds ready to cut. Our orange, it says draw cut down here, so I know I have that set up properly. So it's going to draw that web and then cut the rectangle. Yellow, yep, our trick or treat is attached. And finally purple, our trick or treat is attached. So we are all set. I'm going to hit continue and it'll connect to my machine. I am, for my Nina cardstock, I'm going to use my deep cut blade and I will use the 100-pound paper setting, and or the 100-pound heavy cardstock right here, you can see that. And then when I do the other lighter cardstock that I have for my colors, I'm going to use my regular blade and I will use my medium 80-pound cardstock when I do those colors. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get everything cutting here, and then once it is finished, I will bring you back and show you how I put everything together. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these put together. I am pulling in a couple characters that I have done. This is the Frightful Friends stamp set. This I got along with the Spooktacular papers. I have used a little bit of that orange again on a couple of these. So I had these left over from the previous cards that I had done, and I'm going to use these little characters in my little white blocks that I have done for the front of the cards. Once again, I'm going to speed this up for you. I am also possibly going to add in a few of these stickers. We'll see how things go as I put it together, if I feel like it needs a little something more or not. But I just wanted to give you a quick look at those in case you wonder where that might come from once I speed up the video. Alright, I'm going to get started putting everything together and then I will be back at the end.
Okay, so that is going to complete the cards and our Cricut Monday for today. I'm really happy with how these turned out. They were a lot of fun to put together, a little detailed because of having to line up the Halloween and everything, but I do love that you can do lots of different things with all these images. You just have to learn how to separate things out and size them for what you need. And I do especially love that you can do all of the writing and everything with the Cricut as well. So you can really do everything in one stop. Hopefully this gives you guys some additional ideas you can use with this cartridge. I did actually have a few more ideas. That pumpkin, I think the outline would be really cool to make some type of a shaker window with that. You could also do a shaker with the Halloween, but I ran out of time. So I think this is going to be it for this cartridge for Halloween. I do have a bunch of other Halloween ideas coming for you. I have a video that should post tomorrow, and hopefully I will be able to get done some more things for you. I feel like it is still the beginning of October, but I feel like we are running out of time. So I will try to get as many things in as I can for you. We will definitely hit more than 13 videos. I think this actually might be 13. I'm not quite sure. I haven't checked my numbers yet, but definitely more to come. So stay tuned, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week.